I met Bob over at Joni Petree's place over in Dallas. That's been about 5 years ago, right?
First time I came to your Satori when you were up the street or over at
Okay.
Yeah, the first time I saw you when you invited Swami.
Oh, that's right. He came to see the Swami Gyanananda. We had him at the hotel down here years ago. We've had him since, but yeah, that was a big deal. I remember that. So I'll do my best to be as close to maybe accurate as possible in anything I say this evening. I'll promise you that. Okay. So but anyway, Bob's been a good friend, and he's primarily I knew him as a feng shui person, and he did a program on feng shui. Has it been 2 years or 3 years now?
2009.
So, and the first thing he told me was he wasn't a real, I forget what the word was, but he would tend to kind of back up toward the wall. I said, come on, let's get out here and meet everybody. So everybody meet Bob, first of all. Just, hi, Bob. And he also, both these people sent me, after I sent the email about Chuck Murphy having a previous commitment, and they both sent an email to volunteer to fill in, and Roy called me a few days later and said, well, I've got the flu, but I'll be fine by then. But he took a turn for the worse, and Linda stayed feeling really sick. So anyway, let's just pretend like I invited them, or we invited them. And right now they are our first choice, wouldn't you think? So, and we'll just go, first of all, Bob's going to tell you what he wants to about himself. And because I know a lot about him, but he, every time I hear from him, there's even more. So I'm looking forward to hear what he has to share too. Then he's going to read his predictions, and then you're going to give him a nice Satori appreciation. Then we'll introduce Paula, and then as far as I know, that's how it's going to go. So let's stick around and see. Okay, if you would, let's warmly welcome Bob Dahdelah. Stand up here and read it, and you'll be on the camera that way. And we're also going to work with the volume here like we always do. So, are you on?
I'm on now.
Okay.
Testing.
Okay. How's that?
Yeah. Testing.
Helga, Brigitte, how's that back there?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to stay here for a second. Y'all will signal me if you want me to turn up the middle. Go ahead, Bob.
I'm going to do the Verizon commercial. Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Okay.
It's yours.
Thank you for showing up. And I didn't know I was going to be first or second or even be here. But yeah, as Phil said, that I volunteered to be here. So last night I decided to sit down and write down my thoughts, even though most of them are on my website. What brought me here is back in 2001, I went to Sedona, and I attended a Hopi workshop, and they were talking about celebration of life in 2012. Since then, I never knew anything about 2012 before that, and I was told that because of who I am as an old soul and the history of where I came from, that I would be helping people with the 2012 transition. And if you follow me on Facebook or look on my website, you see a lot of research, a lot of information that I have. And basically 2012 hasn't ended. It's still going on. And it will still keep going on for a few more years. And that's kind of the information that I will be talking about tonight. Not necessarily specifically about astrology or numerology, any specific predictions. It's just that with the changes that we're going through, so that people can feel good about what's going on and not say that they're going crazy, because sometimes it feels like that. So my website is cosmiccounselor.com. I brought some 30 copies, or now it's going to be 29 because I wrote my notes on the first one. So I'll have them, and I have business cards, so if anybody wants to look at what I talk about, or follow me on Facebook and see what's going on. Earlier in December, Joni Patry, she's one of common friend, and she's a local Vedic astrologer, had a video on YouTube that she gave her predictions for 2012, and she talked about about half of the year. There's a lot of negative things that are going to happen, but that's basically, it's to me, it's obvious it's going to happen because it's a continuation of what's going to keep going on. And she said June on, things will settle down and will start changing for the better. What we have been seeing for the last few years is everything is being exposed about how the government has been treating us, how the financial system has been treating us. I'm going through some financial problems. It's all happening everywhere. But that's going to change. There's a lot of things in the plans to be changed, and something that's going on right this minute, I will be talking about it. So we're going to see a lot of changes in numerology. I just had somebody posted something on Facebook about the 2014 year, which equates to 7. 7 is about uncovering the hidden. So there's a lot of things that are going to be exposed. We had last year the NSA scandals and all that stuff, and there's more. There's a lot more going on. We know about the GMOs, everybody resisting that, fracking, you name it. Everything that's been going on, anything that's related to the old system is breaking down and will be replaced. We will see, we will see new technologies that will come up. And some of it that's been suppressed, and some of it it's coming from our sky friends, ETs and UFOs. We have them. The stuff is there. In 2013, we've seen a lot of changes. The positive things that have happened is that everybody that was rooting for war with Iran and Syria did not happen, because people are waking up and demanding change. Governments are changing. Sort of the budget crisis was sort of resolved, and we're seeing more and more countries coming off the dollar or using the dollar in trade. That's because the dollar itself, if you know the history of it, the Federal Reserve was put in by Congress illegally in 1913, and there's more history to it. You can look up the Organic Act of 1871. That's the first time when, after the Civil War, the country was broke, government was broke, so the bankers from Europe came in and said, okay, we'll give you all the money you want. You're going to give us your future income from all of your people. So income taxes don't go to the federal government. They go to the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is a collection of international banks owned by the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Morgans, all these people. So there's a lot. That's part of the change. This is part of what's breaking down, because they really don't have any money, because they can't keep printing money out of thin air. And that's, we've seen whistleblowers, Edward Snowden is one. Pope Francis, from what I read, he chose Francis as the Saint Francis of Assisi, because they're working together to make the changes. Okay, now, there's 5 steps in the ascension process we're going through. Everybody knows about ascension, I guess? Well, you will see it. This is part of the change that we're going through in our bodies, on the energy level, the way we deal with ourselves, and the way we can be responsible for ourselves and be co-creators of our lives. And it's not just happening for each one of us individually, but we can do it for the whole world. Okay, the first thing that's going to happen is the financial system will change. That's ending the control of the dark forces. We're going to call them just that, and we're not naming any specific people. And this has been happening for the last 13,000 years. This is nothing new. With the help of some basically dark ETs too, because they, if you've heard of the reptilians and greys and archons and all of these different entities, they basically are helping the dark people basically stay in power. But there's positive change of the good ETs that are here helping us in the background that will be also helping us through the change too. So the dark side is going away, the good side is coming out. So they will be neutralized. And basically, because we have been enslaved for the last 1,000 years, especially in the financial system. I mean, you work all your life to just pay the bills and keep the rich people rich. You never make it out of that trap. Some people can. I mean, even if you're working for a corporation, you're still under rules, and they are making it right now. You're working for them 24/7. They give you a laptop, you go work from home. You never have a family life. It's a good thing I got out of that rat race a long time ago. I work for myself, so that's a good thing. And what will that do? Once the financial system change, then people are not under any pressure. They can have time for themselves. They can have time for their families. They can enjoy their life. Part of the financial change is all debt will be eliminated, public and private. No mortgages, no car loans, nothing. This is going to be going away because all the money is created out of thin air right now. There is a program that actually Congress approved in 2000. It's called NESARA, N-E-S-A-R-A, National Economic Security and Reformation Act. They passed it in 2000. They were going to announce it.
Could you repeat that spell, please?
NESARA, N-E-S-A-R-A, National Economic Security and and Reformation Act. National Economic Security and Reformation Act. That was actually passed by Congress in 2000. It was going to be announced on the famous day, 9/11, at 11 o'clock. So that's why the planes hit it at 11 o'clock, and the planes went into the building at 9 o'clock, so that announcement never made it to the public. There's more to it than that, but anyway. What we're going to see right now, what we're working with, I've been waiting for this to happen here for the last year, but solid for the last 3 months, is currency revaluation. All currencies in the world will be revalued based on what the country have as assets. The 2 or 3 major currencies that are way undervalued is the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnamese dong, Indonesian rupiah. These are the 3 major currencies that will go up in value big time. I'm invested in it. So if anybody wants to talk to me about that, hopefully you can still buy it before we get out of here. Yeah, but it's happening that fast. Things are happening in the plans, everything is set, all the banks are ready, they're just waiting for somebody to throw the switch and it will happen. Iraq, Vietnam, and Indonesia, their currencies will be they are the major 3 that are way undervalued. Everybody else will be adjusted a little bit up and down. The talk about the US dollar is probably, as it is, it will lose half of its value, but it will also be replaced by US Treasury notes instead of Federal Reserve notes. So we're not going to lose our money as it is. So, there's a lot of fear of people saying, okay, the dollar is going to crash and everybody's going to go crazy. Well, this is what the global currency reset is all about. This resetting all the currencies all over the world to readjust everybody. Everybody will be on equal footing. They can trade with their own money, because now the world has been trading with the US dollar, and the US dollar is not doing any good to anybody. You've seen the BRICS countries, the Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They're the countries that started a bank on their own last year. I mean, they've had an agreement in 2009, but last year they formed a bank so that they can trade among each other, and any countries that want to join them, they can use that currency or among each other, that they don't have to depend on the US dollar, because the US dollar, like I said, is printed out of thin air. There's nothing back in it. Anyway, that's part of the change. And also, once this happens, people, like I said, will be free. You don't have to be working 24/7 for a corporation, even for yourself. The basics of life will be there. Food and shelter will be there. This is part of also the program that Saint Germain have had for a long time. They call it Saint Germain Trust. You know, he had for centuries gold and different assets that will be released to the world. And part of that is the Chinese royal family that's been around for a few thousand years. They are the ones that are trustees for that trust, and they will be releasing that money. That's part of where the money is coming from to pay for the currency exchange. And once the currency, basically once the power is taken away from the U.S. dollar, then there's no need for war. And we can see that probably happening, beginning of middle of this year. So yeah, all the wars will stop because everybody have money. They don't need to fight, whether it's a country or people. It doesn't matter. Also, okay, this is the first step, the financial system. Government also will change. We hear there was a rumor that on December 23rd, the Republic was signed back into act, or there was an act that they signed the Republic back in power, because since 1871, the Republic was gone. U.S. Constitution is basically just a piece of paper. There's nothing, everybody talks about, the U.S. Constitution says this and that, but the laws themselves are not supported by the U.S. Constitution. It's been a lie, especially on the financial side. That's why corporations became people, and they can do whatever they want, and they're doing what they want. And banks, have the power, and corporations and all that stuff. So all of that's going to change. Once that changes, okay, first the next will be the disclosure. It's about the information related to UFOs and ETs and suppressed technologies. We've heard about Tesla. Tesla had invented all kinds of things that, free energy. And that will be released. A lot of other people since then have, developed technologies, but their problem, they patented it, and the patents were bought out and shelved. So we have been seeing more and more UFO showing up. And if you look carefully at the sky, if you're open to it, there's people that take you up on trips like James Gilliland. He has a ranch in Washington that you can go visit, and he does group workshops, and he for 3 days, so you can stay with him. And UFOs show up at his ranch. You can make contact with them. There's a lot of people that are walk-ins or starseeds. Everybody have different names for different people. They are in contact with the ETs, because that's where we came from them, and they came from us. We're basically one big family, one big universal family. So, anyway, so look for your lives to start changing here soon. The media now that's suppressing all this information will have no choice but to allow these programs that have been planned to be televised about our galactic family, about the technologies, about everything else that we have been hidden from us. So this is 2014, this is the year of hidden truth to come out. So look for that. After the disclosure of information, then will be first contact, meaning our families and ETs and UFOs will show up in bigger and bigger ships, but they're not going to show up in big ships yet, because we're not ready for them yet. So we will have also more education about them. They will also be showing up for us to visit with them. You may go for a ride. They will also share the technologies they have. They can give us free energy. They can produce food in different ways that we do. They can clean the water, help us clean Earth. They have all kinds of technologies that they're waiting for us. And the faster we raise our vibrations and stop these wars and stop the the negativity that's going on, the faster they will come. I mean, they're ready. They're here. They're waiting. After first contact, we'll have mass landings. That's where the big ships will come up. I mean, if you've seen what's the movie? Independence Day. That's the type of ships that will show up, but not on the bad side. They'll be here to help us, not destroy us. They will be set up. They'll set up like parks. You can go to a park and get educated and see the technology and feel it and experience it. And they're here to help us. They're not here to hurt us. After all that, they will have also technology to help us get rid of the negative energies that we've had in our bodies. And our bodies have memory that go back not just this lifetime, many, many, many lifetimes. It's in the DNA, it's in the cellular memory, all of that. We cannot ascend, meaning raise our vibration to go up to the 5D, where this is where basically the spiritual energy is. We're going to become crystalline-based bodies instead of carbon-based, and that's energy. We don't have to eat if we don't want to. That's our future. Or the food will be different. We don't have to, grow food because we are energy. So all we need is feed ourselves more energy if we need it. Energy will be in a different form. Let's see. Become co-creators of our lives. We will meet and travel with our galactic families and the Agarthans. Agarthans are the people that live inside of Earth. Earth is hollow. I have, like I said, if you go to my website, there's a lot of information about that. Sheldon Nigel is where I'm getting this information from, plus other sources, but he kind of put them in those 5 steps. The Agarthans are the more advanced civilization that used to live also in Lemuria and Atlantis. They went inside.
Could you say the
Agartha?
name again?
Agartha.
Can you spell it?
Agarthan. Agarthan, or Agartha is the basically the continent, or because Earth is hollow. Earth is, the crust is only 800 miles. Inside it, there's a smaller sun. And that's the sun that keeps the whole atmosphere inside, like a tropical atmosphere. And the Agarthans are already in 5D. Back in the 30s and 40s, when everybody started experimenting with nuclear explosion, bombs and stuff like that, the UFOs that were showing up, they didn't show up from outer space. They came from inner Earth to warn the government that, hey, we're here. If you destroy yourself, you're destroying us in the process. So, this is my prediction, I guess, for this year. The main thing that we're going to see this year is the financial system and the changes in the government. And, probably toward half of the year, we're going to see more UFOs. I mean, we're seeing UFOs right now anyway, but we're going to see them more often, and they'll show up, and the media cannot deny them. They can't say it's a weather balloon or, a plane or something else. So, the timeline for all of this, it's up to us. However fast we can change, we will allow the change to happen. The faster we change, the faster the change will happen. That's my cue.
Did that come through? That's it. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.